Technology. How's it been for you, Saswati?
Uh, Very busy, but happy to be busy. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I get the feeling, and with the old firm, I totally understand where you're coming from. Accenture doesn't leave any minute, to give us free. But then, it's a part and parcel of the whole corporate life.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good fun, really.
Yeah, wonderful. All right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with introducing you to the
Mhm.
audience, and then we can get into the topic, if that's
Sure.
okay.
Sure.
Wonderful. Okay, so Saswati, you are an individual with varied interests, ranging from the new age technology, uh, with a keen interest in people, executive coaching, spirituality, travel, reading, music. The list is quite endless. Across the 26 years of an exciting corporate life, you've learned extensively about customer experience management, business transformations. You're a registered coordinator for COPC, a trained black belt from the Breakthrough Management Group, and a professional certified coach, PCC, from the International Coaching Federation. Wonderful. And today's topic is Imposters Syndrome. Can't wait to get more started. It's sounding very intriguing, and it's like this whole, there's a little mystery to it. So
I know.
we'd love to know more. But let's begin with just tell us a little more about you and yourself, and where are you currently in your whole physical, mental space. I know you've undergone a lot of changes, and then maybe you can just delve upon what really is imposter syndrome.
Sure. So, first of all, thanks, Divya and Rajpreet. Thank you for having me on Say Cheese. It's wonderful to be able to connect with a larger audience and women across the globe. Right now, I can say I'm in a happy and comfortable space, both physically and mentally. I have just moved into a new role in a new company after 20 years with the same company. So it took me a lot of courage to do that. And yes, so right now, on a high and very thrilled with life, so to say. But to be very honest, Divya, the past 2 years have been really tough. And I am sure this resonates with many of you who are tuned in today. Yeah. So, along with working in the corporate world, like you also mentioned, I'm also a pro bono executive coach. And I've had many clients, a lot of them being women, reach out to me during the pandemic with severe stress, burnout, and symptoms, which were indicative of what I know as imposter syndrome. So, let me share a story. And I will be using a fictitious name just to maintain confidentiality. So Sanjana is this really smart. This is a real person, but I've changed the name. That's all. So Sanjana is a really smart, ambitious lady in her mid 30s. She's a single mother to a really talented daughter, and they live in Mumbai. And at the time we connected, she was highly successful in a professional world. She was working with a technology company, a global company, and she had clients working across time zones. And her role allowed her to work from home permanently, so she was good. She reached out to me when she started seeing a dramatic change in her daughter's behavior. And the way she described it, and these are her words, she said that her daughter was precariously swinging between being really submissive to hugely belligerent. And she was really, really concerned. And she also mentioned, of course, that she was working 17-hour days across time zones. She barely had time for her daughter. And she broke down and she thought that she had superpowers and she thought she could manage home and work. In fact, that's what she had told her husband at the time that they got the divorce, that I can manage it all. She said she was wrong and she had broken down. She was crying and she said, I am wrong. I don't have any superpowers. I'm a fake. Sashwati, I'm a fake. I'm not even a good mother. And she was feeling really anxious and she was feeling a lot of guilt. you know so now these feelings on not being good enough or feeling like a fake, I've seen this quite often, and regardless of our age, our position in an organization, what we are doing in life, whether we are professionals or homemakers, people across the world, they often experience severe self-doubt. And I'm saying severe self-doubt. A little bit of self-doubt is okay and it's normal, but I'm talking of severe self-doubt, and this chronic self-doubt is called imposter syndrome. Basically, people constantly feel, inadequate regardless of their evident successes. Sanjana was very successful that way, right? But she was feeling inadequate, and she thought she was a fake. Yeah.
Right.
And like Sanjana, people with imposter syndrome have their minds swamped with questions like, am I really good? Can I really do this? Am I really qualified to do this? Or attributing their successes to other people. And that is what imposter syndrome is all about, really.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, very nice, very beautifully explained, and I love the example, and you've made it relatable. Now tell me something, how do you recognize an imposter syndrome? Are there some feelings? Are there some questions? Is there a change in behavior? How does it work?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, the first thing, of course, is you need to be really self aware. We can keep a watch on how we are talking about ourselves. What are we thinking at any point in time? So, if there's a new opportunity that's come my way, what is my first reaction? And then
Yeah,
what is my continued reaction? How am I behaving? What are the words I'm using to describe myself and my capabilities? Right?
right.
The second thing you can do is, of course, most people have an inner circle uh, where you have close friends, close family, colleagues you're close with. You can ask people from your inner circle to, kind of call out the moment they see the telltale signs. So, what are these signs? So, typically, they will talk down about themselves, they will attribute their successes to somebody else, they will be severely self deprecating, they will display severe self doubt. And I'll give you a couple of examples. And these are examples I think a lot of us women will relate with. For women getting back to work after a break, very common. So the typical questions I have heard, even when I've interviewed people or have coached my friends, I don't think I'll be able to make it. There are so many other people who are really good. I mean, I've been out of office for 4 years. I don't think I'm not good. I don't even want to go for the interview. I'm not good enough. Yeah. And this coming from top performers, past top performers. I've heard senior leaders saying, am I really capable of handling such a large project? What if I make a mistake? Basically, what if I get found out? And what will you be found out on? So, fear of judgment. I'm no good. I'm not able to manage home. I'm not able to manage work. I'm a fake. And these comments can come from anywhere and from anybody. Yeah. Men and women, by the way, middle managers or even senior leaders. And it could be average performers or top performers. It could come from anybody, just about.
Yeah, I think the signs are all there. We
Yeah,
just need to,
yeah,
when you started saying, we need to be self-aware. I think that's the step
yeah,
number one to figuring out, and typically
yeah,
the kind of questions we are talking and the mind how it's working. So I think those are obvious signs. So
yeah,
what do we do about it now that we understand that there is, the way we are handling the
yeah.
situation around us and ourselves? What do we do about it?
And that, I think, is the most important question because I think it is important to move forward. How do you move forward? How do you handle those emotions? So let me be very honest with you, Divya. And there is no shame in saying this. I have also gone through imposter syndrome myself. And there have been times I did not have, and I was not a coach in those days. I have gone through feelings and very emotions about who I am, what am I capable of, and so on and so forth. And therefore, the steps that I'm sharing with you, what people can do about it, is from experience. This is what I have done, and this is what I would recommend. So every time you go through self doubt, have a chat with yourself to give a name to that emotion. Don't be in a fuzz. Don't be in a fuzzy environment. Give it a name. Are you feeling sad? Are you anxious? Is it fear? What is it? Yeah. And the moment you're able to put a name to that emotion, it is important to find out what is the trigger of that. So break the entire fuzzy situation down.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is causing it? Why are you feeling anxious? In Sanjana's situation, she was feeling anxious because subconsciously she was aware that something was going wrong in her life and with her daughter, right? She was not able to give time, and her daughter was reacting to her absence. So that was creating anxiety, but she was in a fuzzy world. She came up with a big statement to say, I'm miserable, I'm a fake. How do you break that down? Yeah. The third thing, and this is really critical, once you have clarity on your emotions, I think it's important to counter them with past experiences in similar situations and look back on your past successes. Women don't do that. And I've come across so many women, they just don't look back and say, wow, have I really come this far? Yeah. So it is important to do that. And how do you do that? When you're feeling out and about and, you're not feeling good about yourself, how do you just keep thinking about your past successes? So one good trick, so to say, is to keep a journal. Now,
Yeah.
journaling is really nice. And what do you do in the journal? Write down all your successes you've had as and when they're happening and your challenges. Keep your successes and your, challenges in the same journal. And for the challenges, write down what did you do to overcome those challenges.
Yeah.
Believe me, I do this myself. I don't have a physical journal, but I do it online. And when I'm feeling down about a particular situation at work or home or relationships, I look back. This is what I did. Why can't I try it once again? I think this worked the last time. So you are kind of self-coaching.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing you could really do. And I think the other very important thing is to lean into family for support.
Mhm.
You must lean into, you must confide, you must talk about it. You can't keep it to yourself. Yeah. So the moment you confide, they will become your anchor. They are the ones who are going to call out your past successes, and they are the ones who will show you the way forward. And one last thing, and this is purely from my experience, I've felt fear many a times, and I've realized that feeling fear, it's debilitating. It paralyzes you. You just can't move forward, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And thus, I've stayed away from people, and there are people who can feed you with fear and self doubt.
Yeah.
Stay away from those people.
Yeah.
Don't let them into your. So that's one other thing that I've done over time, and it's really worked for me.
Yeah. Wonderful. Very nice. Very nice. I mean, now I just want to know. So, we hear a lot of stuff like this, and we hear motivational talks, and we uh, go into trainings with an open mind, right? But at the end of the day, we have to take things away for ourselves.
Mm.
Correct? Nobody can do that for you. So
Right.
what happens if we choose to not take any action, right? We remain fuzzy in our minds, or we don't want to make that effort to close that
Yeah.
opportunity which you're saying. So what happens?
If you don't take action, you will be confined to your thoughts and you'll be confined to your circumstances. And it'll get worse over the years, and you will not be the best version of yourself. You
Mhm.
will be an unhappy person. You will be feeling like a fake most of the time. You will let go of opportunities. So, taking action means taking charge of your well being. You have to make a resolve to take charge. Nobody else can do it for you, right? And you need to grab all the opportunities that come your way with confidence and joy. You have to agree with yourself to get the best version of yourself to life every day. And that's where the journal again comes in. So I have these sticky notes all over my room. They are reminders for me. This is what you need to do. And so therefore, get up in the morning, and this is what you need to read. If I'm not feeling very comfortable about a specific topic at work, something new that I'm learning, I spend more time, but I have to tell myself that instead of feeling like a fake to say, oh my gosh, I'm the only one who doesn't know.
Yeah.
Instead of that, take affirmative action. Put sticky notes all over your space. Remind yourself constantly that you need to take affirmative action. And let me tell you what Sanjana did. Yeah, so Sanjana was a perfectionist. She wanted things done in the best possible way every single day at work. Yeah. And she thought, unfortunately, and typical signs of imposter syndrome, that she was an average person. And the and she wanted to put in a lot of hours at work just to ensure that she continued to get recognized for her work. Sanjana also realized her innate need to prove herself to the world over and over again, though she had already established herself as a top performer. And she confided the secret, about her perception of herself, and then we went about understanding where it came from. She also acknowledged that she was responsible for her daughter's well being, and she took a resolve to course correct it immediately. spoke with her boss, with the existing organization. They couldn't accommodate her. She started looking for an organization which had better policies around, for single mothers or for work-life balance. And she did get into one such large technology company. And today, her daughter is 8 years old and a delight to be with. And to sum up, basically, the imposter syndrome, Divya, it impacts both men and women. But women are more impacted because we are juggling multiple responsibilities at home and at work. So, in a moment of self doubt, just step back and take back the charge of your own life.
Yeah.
And that would be a great start to addressing imposter syndrome.
Wonderful. Very well explained, Saswati. I think, you covered the topic in a very concise, and yet, you got the all the important points out. I think the is the self belief, right? Knowing that, you can always ask for help, right? You don't have to
Yes.
know everything. The
Yeah.
important thing is to ask for help, but for that, you have to first help your own self, with your own
Yes.
confidence and your own, positive affirmations, as you said. So, all of those things combined with asking for help and, taking advice, I think is the real key. And we at Sechis are doing pretty much the same. We are a large community of women who have each other's back, and the intent is that we are there to listen to you. So when you
Yes.
come board as an inspiring speaker, there is somebody who's gaining from your conversation, right? And then, you have more such people to help you as well, right, Saswati? Because at all
Right.
points of time, sometimes we are the seeker, sometimes we are the people
Yeah.
who need the
Absolutely.
the roles keep changing.
Yeah.
So that's what our whole community is all about as well. And thank you so much for your time today, Saswati. It was very interesting session, and we'd love to have you again on board with us if that's okay with you.
Of course. Thank you so much. Thanks, Rashpreet. Thanks, Divya. Wonderful to be on Cheese. And all the very best.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you,
Thanks
and
a
have
Okay.
lot,
a day ahead.
Saswati.
You too.
Lovely listening to
Thank
you. Thank you. Thank you
That's
so
good.
much for
Thank you.
sharing. Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.